swing down to a 60 side to the back parking lot so we can walk around, all right?
Huh?
Move in. Come on, let's move in there. Hit it.
Yeah. I ain't even do nothing.
Hold 1 minute. Don't take him anywhere. I want to talk to y'all first before you take him.
I ain't even do nothing. I just came.
I want to talk to y'all before you.
Yeah, I ain't even do nothing.
This business is in and
Yeah. Here, go up there and get this guy. Keep the light there to blind him. That's why he took off. He's going in the house? Can they go in the house? Wait a second. Yeah. The door.
okay, good to go.
You under arrest, brother.
What I do, man?
Right to remain silent. Anything
What
you
I
say
do?
and do can be used against you in the court of law.
What I do?
You have a right to an attorney.
What I do, man? What I do, man?
Distribution of cocaine.
I don't do nothing, man.
Give me some handcuffs.
Yo, I go see my girl,
Hey,
man.
be quiet,
stand still.
Be quiet, man.
I go see my girl. They're
No,
gonna
just
arrest me,
stand
man.
still.
All right, man. I'll stand
Yeah,
still.
all right,
Yo,
man. You better stand
but I go
still.
see my girl, man.
Keep your legs back, man.
I'm telling you now, don't buck.
Yo, y'all ain't bucking me. I go see my girl. That's why I go, man. Are you knocking at the door? So I look at you, man.
Yeah, you look at me. Yeah, that's right.
But I ain't.
You're under arrest. Just be quiet.
Yo, I even see you. Yo, hey, yo, sorry. What am I doing? What I doing, sorry, man? Yo, I go see my girl right there, man. They're gonna arrest me for, man. They're gonna arrest me for, sorry. I'm out the building. They're gonna arrest me for, man. I ain't even live around here.
Wait, stand back on the curb.
I ain't even live around
Drop your
here, man.
hand in here.
Oh, no.
What's your last name?
I ain't even live around.
What's your name? Patrick what? You let him down.
I ain't even live around here.
How long have you been in the United States?
Yo, huh?
How long have you been in the United States? How long?
I ain't even know that I go to I can't see my girlfriend, man. My girlfriend live around there, man. My last name is Patrick. I live here with my girl, mom. I probably see my girl. I ain't even live around here.
What's your address? What's your middle name?
Yeah? I have, my middle name is Antonio.
Date of birth?
April 26, 1960.
You got him, Beverly?
Home address?
I ain't even know.
Look, man, don't put on a big story, huh?
What I do, man?
That's Southeast.
You go see my girlfriend. I can't see my girlfriend, man.
So you're under arrest for distribution of cocaine.
This is doing the wish cocaine. I ain't even know around here.
Tell it to the
Let
judge.
me hear right.
Hold that stop.
With what? With what? With what? With what? What are you locking me up for? With what? It's the wrong thing you're doing, man. It's the wrong thing, man. I can't see my girlfriend. My girlfriend live around here. I ain't have nothing to do with around here, man.
What's your home phone number?
I have a phone number. I have to give my girl phone number. I have to give my girl phone number.
What's your beeper number?
I have no beep or nothing. I have no beep. Search me, make it. Search me, man.
Where in Jamaica? Jamaica's a big country.
Kingston. I even know. I can't see my girl. You know, rest. This is so security now. Nickname? No nickname. You live in Southeast or Southwest? What's your partner number?
What's yours, Terry?
You don't know the partner number.
You got a green card? You got a green card?
Green card.
Where's that at?
I don't have it.
What's that badge number again, Beverly?
Yo, I come to see my girlfriend gonna lock me up for what, man? I see where
You got him laying something not
I
talking to
even
him.
see him,
Nothing
man.
else
Think I was
saying.
selling drugs over the open door.
John Beverly, so I can put in my car.
Sure. So, yeah, see? Yeah, well, I don't know. Come lock me up for. Yeah, Drop me a phone.
Who you born in?
Born in Jamaica.
What part of Jamaica? Kingston.
It was roughly 10,000 Jamaicans living in the DMV region back in 1988. Many of them were hardworking people with jobs. Some owned legal businesses like bakeries and Caribbean spots. But they was mad because of the attention the posses and illegals brought to the whole Jamaican community. Fresh out of Kingston, law enforcement was under pressure at the top of 88. 37 homicides in the month of January, breaking the record previously held by December of 1971, which had a total of 32 bodies. But now we're gonna go back to the early 80s of DC, to a slept-on but deadly war between Jamaicans in DC, mainly Northwest in the Georgia Avenue area. And we already dug into Shower Posse history on part 1 and part 2. But this is another Jamaican group, the religious Rastafarian gangs of the early 80s, the Rastas versus the Baldies. The real issue was over ambition and territory. The Rastas was in the weed business. In its true religious essence, Rastafari is about peace and the belief in one God, often called Jah. The true followers respect and praise Haile Selassie, looking at him as the second coming of Jesus, or simply a modern time prophet, modern meaning of the 1900s. He was an emperor of Ethiopia and they saw him as noble, but the Rasta movement itself was born in Jamaica. They might be the only religion that believe in chief and heavy ganja. Most of them be chill, super cool, but not too fashion forward though. Soccer jersey, sweatpants with the loafers, them boys be cutting up. Rest in peace, Bob Marley. He was also a member, but let's continue.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Listen to get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
They said some of the Rastas in the area was using the religion to push a narrative while running a weed operation. Their competitors was the Baldies. This is Patrick, aka P.D. Gray, alleged leader of the Baldies crew from Northwest. He was born in Jamaica and came to the States around 12 or 13 years old. He lived in the 900 block of Butternut Street Northwest, and he hung out in the area making friends with other Jamaicans nearby. So later, Patrick would find himself behind bars, arrested on different occasions for assault charges. According to local Jamaicans and law enforcement, he had a reputation for violence, but family and associates said he wasn't who they thought he was, and that he learned how to do mechanic work, hoping to land a job in an auto shop. Meanwhile, on the streets, several attempts were made on his life. Patrick and his crew were called the Baldies due to their short hair, unlike the Rastafarians with the long matted dreads. It was a battle for control of the Jamaican community up on Georgia Avenue. For 4 years, each group, they either killed or made attempts on the others. Sometimes the meeting grounds would be nightclubs and reggae concerts. Sometimes it'd be the street you live on. In 1981, a man driving by Patrick's house in the alley shot at him while he was working on his car. He was lucky with that situation. He didn't get hit, but later on he was hit in the arm and leg leaving the concert, which he survived, but the Rastas was on his heel. They wanted his head, and by this point it was beyond turf control. Once you turn the blood faucet on, it's hard to shut it off. It's eye for an eye. This is Sada Blue, a real Rastafarian who was interviewed during that time when these guys were added on the streets. He said Selassie Almighty is our God. There's no Rasta without him. Criminal Rastas don't look upon his majesty as God Almighty. By 83, some of the Jamaicans involved was wearing bulletproof vests to parties. Community leaders believed the beef started in 1979. April 81, 2 Rastas was hit on Eastern Avenue. The very next day, a group of Jamaicans had a shootout on a soccer field. This was a direct retaliation move. Both sides were strapped with .45 caliber pistols, dumping. A Buick pulled up with tents, chasing 2 men in circles on the soccer field, and then another car, a Ford sedan, took over chasing the 2 men while someone was leaning out the passenger side dumping. But their aim wasn't too great because by the end of the battle, when the feds showed up, more than 50 shell casings were discovered, but the only victims were bystanders. A man waiting for a bus at 16th Street Northwest. A woman sitting in her car in traffic lost her eye. But the real murder stuff happened months later. A roster was shot and killed on the 900 block of Gallatin Street Northwest. The feds believe it was Patrick from the Baldies, but they couldn't prove it. But mysteriously, one of Patrick's guys was the next to get hit at 5th and Gallatin. He was paralyzed from the neck down. Patrick's cousin was hit at another time. But October 10th, they finally got Petey, the alleged leader of the Baldies, about 2:15 a.m. at the 930 Club, a spot where the Jakes partied. 5 shots went off, and Patrick lay bleeding. He was between 22 and 23 years old, and it didn't end there. 5 days later, Patrick's people allegedly retaliated at another Jamaican nightclub up on Georgia Avenue, where 2 men walked in strapped and fired into the crowd, looking for revenge. All of this supposedly started over control of the marijuana market in the city, and it turned bloody and even deadly for some people.